All right, today I'm in this cool room at the Kentucky Center for the Arts, and I'm with Julie Roberts, who, golly, you have keys to this room.
I do have keys to the
Wow,
room.
that must have been thrilling. You are the development director
Yes.
here at the Kentucky Center for the Arts.
Yes.
Very important job. Very proud of you for getting it, and because
Thank you.
we go back a long way, don't we?
A long way.
I actually hired you for a job in the most awkward job interview of all time. I don't know if you remember it that way.
It's all a bit of a blur right now, but it's fun to have you bring it up.
Well, we'll leave the details out of this, but it was a lot of fun, you got the job. Congratulations!
Thank you.
And went on and stayed there. I think longer than I did, but and you've had a series of great positions since then. I know. Let's see, Maryhurst.
Yes.
And then I saw you all the time at Actors Theater.
Exactly.
That must have been a great experience.
Oh, it was fantastic. I really feel like my entire career has just been one of joy. You know, I've moved from journalism, where I knew you, and thought I was going to, change the world by stories that we would write. Somewhere along the way, I decided nonprofits might be a better fit for that. So that kind of took me down that path. Worked for Maryhurst, like you said, for a long time with abused and neglected kids, raising support for them, and then had an opportunity to go to Actors Theater, which I long loved, and raised money for them, and then recently came over to the Kentucky Center.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're raising money here.
I am raising money.
So
here.
how do you what do you say to folks? I mean, what's your pitch for you want me to give you some money?
Well, we start with the fact that people love what we do. I mean, they love the art, they want to get involved, and really, I think the best fundraising, it's not about the pitch, but it's about finding a way to connect a person's passion with the mission. And once you find that connection, it just kind of flows. So I count it as a real privilege to be able to work with individuals and even corporations who want to, they have their own ideas of how they can improve their lives by giving back to the community, and they may choose to do it here.
Okay. So basically, a part of your job, I know there's a lot of parts of your job. We'll get to that in a second. I want to ask you about what happened last night. Okay, we got this governor that I know you can't say, but I'll say he's a jerk. I don't like him. But he announced that he was cutting all funding to the Kentucky Center for the Arts and 69 other organizations. How do you react to that? I know you watched it because...
I did watch it because those are my exciting nights at home. When I'm not at the theater, I am at home watching...
I mean, there was a U of L game on at the same time. I think Bevan planned this during a big basketball night so nobody would watch his State of the Union, I think.
Well, the Roberts household was tuned in.
Okay.
I think going into it, we are part of the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet, so we do receive some funding. It's really less than 2%, I believe, of our overall budget. So when you look at it in a percentage terms, we've got a lot of other avenues of funding that are taking care of our organization and our mission programs. But still, it's significant. So we're still unpacking it. We don't have all of the answers. We don't even have clarity at this point about what that really means. I think it's important to point out, too, that this is just the first step in what will be a long budgetary process. So there will be opportunities to address it and maybe changes.
Right. I mean, the governor doesn't have a magic wand and just say, okay, from this point on, you get no money.
Exactly.
But he kind of has the power to suggest it. I mean, beyond the governor and in general, I guess this is a question about our society in general. I mean, the focus on the arts it is seeming to take a little backseat funding-wise from a lot of, not just Kentucky state government, but all governments.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. That's been a trend, and I think it really speaks to us in that we have to be telling our story better. We have to really get people, even beyond the seats here, people out in the community, to understand the significance of arts and education. We have a tremendous arts and healing program that works with veterans and in hospitals that is very much part of the medical protocol for how they help patients. So, it touches a lot of lives in a lot of different ways, and maybe we're not the best at articulating that, and I think that's a lesson for us to learn through this as well. It's how we tell our story.
I'm sure you're going to take charge and improve the storytelling Harold, tell me a little bit about how you got this position, because you've been here less than a year, right?
Yes. I moved over in the summer. Had been very happy at Actors Theater. Loved working in the arts because I think it combined all those years I had working with kids who were abused and neglected. All of our arts organizations have programs that help build that up too. And work with those populations. So for me, it was an opportunity to come to a place that I think going forward, we're doing some master planning right now with some exciting projects in the future, one of which has been in the news, a lot lately, the Paris Town venue that we're building over off Broadway, kind of behind the,
I knew about that project. I didn't know you were behind it. So.
That's us. So, so that was something that was very enticing, like branching out into neighborhood communities and bringing arts and programming to those areas. And then we have a statewide mission, so that really spoke to me as well. I'm a little girl that was born in Somerset, Kentucky. I think I lived in about every little county across the state before landing in Louisville about 21 years ago now, so I've been here a significant amount of time. But, I remember the rest of the state needs arts as well, and I want to be part of that mission, taking it statewide.
Okay. Now, I read that in one publication said there was a national search for your position, and yet they picked somebody right down the street. I'm sure the interview process was easier than it was for that job with Networld.
It was a robust it was a robust process, but yeah, it was a different process than what we went through with you. Definitely. I think organizations are wise to look nationally just so they can make sure that they find the best fit. I think oftentimes in fundraising, good fundraising is all about relationships. So sometimes, your local folks are the ones that already have some relationships, understand the community, and therefore, that may have given me an edge up on some of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. Well, I'm glad they picked you. Now, let's talk about some programming here, because this building, the Whitney Hall, I've seen some great shows right in this building. I think the last one I saw might have been Lyle Lovett in here. But what you got coming up?
Oh my goodness. Well, our Broadway series continues. We've got Chicago coming in this week. We'll have Waitress a little bit later on. Rent is going to be in between there as well. The Louisville Orchestra, we're home to the orchestra, the opera, and the ballet. Between here and the Brown Theater, so we love those partner organizations as well as Stage One. They all have programming. Honest to goodness, it is hard to keep up with all of our dynamic programming. In fact, I have two computer screens on my desk, and one I keep up all the time that is just what is going on currently at the center, because there's so much, and so much is being added daily. That
like
it's hard.
The electronic boards outside, I guess.
Yes.
Right here,
Yeah,
here at the center. And as we were sitting in the lobby, I was wondering. I remember those. What do you call those jester type guys? The red and black and white statues.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Miro.
the Dubuffets. Yes.
Is that what they're called? I didn't know. It's interesting. They're now indoors because
They
were for decades probably outside.
They were outside. Weather was taking its toll on them, and we wanted to make sure that we protected them, so they brought them in several years ago, and actually just had them restored over the summer. So, yeah.
Okay. So your job is development, and I guess I'm just curious as to if you could throw some numbers out at me. What you said 3% of the budget may lose if Bevan gets his way, but this place has a big budget.
We
right?
we do. We're between $17-18 million organization.
And is it all fundraising? Oh.
It's no fundraising. Actually, right now is about 1.2 million of that.
Okay.
We need to fundraise more because we have grandiose ideas about our mission that we want to take our programming further. So that is always a goal of ours, is to bring in more resources specifically for our mission-based programs. So we certainly have the programming that people are familiar with, and you buy your tickets and you come enjoy this great experience either here at the center or out at the Brown.
Or really my favorite concert venue in town, I think, is the Baumhart.
Oh, it is great. It's great. It's nice and intimate, and
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is cool. So the mission, the Paris Town, update me on that project. when are we going to see something happening down there?
Well, actually, I think the ground is a little bit too cold right now for them to start the digging, but anytime we should be starting the digging, and actually you'll see the building process going on. If you drive by there now, the fencing is up, the land has been cleared. We are very excited. You know, that is a project that really encompasses the entire community there. And I think the Kentucky Center, long before I came, has been in conversation about how we can be a part of that and how we can be kind of the cultural anchor of that district. So it's right across the street from Louisville Stoneware, which has its own plans of revamping, you know, their shop and opening that up to become a restaurant district, an entertainment district. Our venue in particular will offer a lot of flexibility. Its primary role is going to be as a stand-up concert venue for about between 2,000 and 2,400 people.
Wow.
So it hits that niche that's right between like headliners, Mercury Ballroom, some of the Palace, our own facilities here that's not being fed currently in the community. So we can attract bands that the community doesn't currently. But the space is such that it's so flexible, we can open it up to all kinds of organizations to come in and do different types of artistic programming. You know, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, if they have groups coming in from out of town that need additional meeting space, it has a lot of variety to it.
Very good. Well, it sounds very exciting. The first show there will be when?
We anticipate it will be between spring and summer of 2019.
Okay.
So we've got a ways still.
Wow. Well, it'll be here before you know
it. Will. It will, yeah.
That'll be fun. Well, Julie, I'm looking forward to calling you and asking for free tickets to shows here. And
if you become a member, you get some great discounts and first right at the tickets.
That's right. You can become a member of the Kentucky Center, and for it's not very much money. And,
no,
and
little as $100.
I've done it.
Yeah.
I've gotten first dibs on tickets to shows and stuff, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
So, Julie, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you. Always good to see you.
Great to see you again, and now I know anytime I come in here, I'll look you up.
Great.